I wouldn't say that. I've got a very soft heart.
Oh, you are saying you are principled?
Yes, but you mustn't come with nonsense to me. Because in the beginning of Orania, I was very much involved in Orania. I also served on a committee of Orania to help think how we could start feasible businesses on Orania. The Hawks do a very big investigation. So much so that the head of the Hawks must report weekly to Parliament, to the Committee of Justice. Adrian Venter, in 2012, wrote them a letter. You can't lend money out on property that's not legal. But despite that, they went on. In 2016, there was a court case. Judge Fourie said you must stop building. Jan Groenewald, the chairman, signed an agreement. They won't build further. They will legalize now. They build more than 80 houses still.
Goeiemôre. Hallo. Lekker. Hoe gaan dit? Lekker zo. Ja, het kan niet aan.
From the parliament?
Oh.
No, but let's move this side.
Yeah. Can we? Yeah.
There's one important thing as well I must mention here. We discovered today that also because the MK party has also put another private members bill on the table on the land issue. And one of the things that we're saying as the MK party is that the land must belong to all the people of South Africa. The state and the chiefs and the state and the kings must be the custodian, the administrators of this land, so that it's equitably used for the benefit of all South Africans, as it were. We find that at Kleinfontein here, they've got a similar system. The individuals that are here, just like the individuals in the waterfall, don't have title deeds, as it were. So we think that as long as we can deal with the question that they're talking about, they're worried about corruption and all of that, and we've given them a challenge that they must give us the kind of administration proposal that will make sure that there is no corruption in everything, that will make sure that their grandchildren are not undermined or sabotaged or anything. And we also have grandchildren. So it looks like we want the same things to make sure that our generations to come must all feel at home here. No one must feel othered, as it were. So we think the MK party as the government in waiting, that's what we're doing here. This is part of our consultation. As we take over this government, we must know what all the communities of South Africa want and so on, and we must reach a consensus because we are a government that is going to include everybody. Everybody must have dignity, as it is. So that's what we're all about. And media, thank you very much.
We appreciate the conference. This is a debate, by the way. It's like the situation in Orania where they want their own town, and you have made it clear that you don't want to follow this constitution. You don't want to follow what this municipality does. You don't want to be led by this municipality. You want to be independent, right? Yes, you said so. So we'll have to go and look into that, because you want to be independent. You want your own special arrangement of your own people, because you must also not shy away that you want a white owned place. No, it's what you want. It's what you want.
And where the illegal bank KSK is already. This is a museum that's been built here on the right hand side, and this is Kleinfontein, the most written about in the last week or 2 weeks. This fight has been going on from my side for the last 6 years. This is a community hall down there, and yes, this is where the houses start, and yeah, it's clean. There's no plastic,
No littering.
We do our own water, our own sewage. They buy direct from Eskom, but they're not registered at NERSA, and so you're not allowed to resell electricity if you're not registered. So this is an illegal settlement, and this is what the fight is all about. We don't have title deeds. We've invested a lot of money here, and we've got a little paper called a certificate, and I've got 20 shares worth R1 a share. So I've got 70 Rand that's shown on their statements that I invested here. But I've invested about 3 million, and this is what it's all about. This is a
Nice American house, this.
This is a pyramid scheme, and it's been running for 31 years. This is a source centrum where they look at the old people, sick people.
Okay. Old age home?
Old age, yeah. This is a retirement center, and these are houses standing on each one on its own stand, and this is my house here at the end on the left hand side, and so I'm gonna take you in here, and we're gonna have a nice conversation on the stoop, having a coffee or tea or cold drink, whatever you would like. And yeah,
Thank you very much.
that is so far my story. And
Mashiane politically incorrect. We've been welcomed by Umkhulu Henk at the Kleinfontein. Klein meaning small, fontaine meaning a fountain. It's been incorrectly dubbed as the Orania of Pretoria. But today we are here. We've been lucky. He's a gentleman. He welcomed us in his house, just so we could hear stories from South Africans who are different from you and I. Mkhulu sawubona.
ngiyakubingelela kumnandi ukuhlala nawe la
Ngiyabonga.
ngoba sonke simhlobo munye.
Siyabonga.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to let him paint the picture of how long have they come here. But it's a bit of a lot of things, and I'm confused on how would I want, because he himself is an interesting person. He's a very interesting South African that one day we'll get a story to hear about him. But I just want to capture the Kleinfontein story. So I'm just going to, because Next time he finds himself in our studio, we'll unpack a lot of the questions that you guys would want. So I request you, write down your questions. When he comes to the studio, we'll unpack on those questions that you would have wanted. And because I'm pressured for time and I want to apologize, I'm going to want questions as we follow on. It's not going to be all straight up, and I want to apologize for that. Kulu, let me start it this way. Wakulela Emlomo, that is Emelo in the Msuga Likwa district. No, it's in fact it's Gersibande district municipality.
Gersibande.
In Mpumalanga, and the municipality is called Gersibande.
Yeah.
And so what I want to do is, this is where you grew up. So we're going to find a podcast where we're going to talk about how you grew up and what this is the reason why it has shaped your understanding of humanity. But today I just want to talk about Kleinfontein.
Okay.
Question number one, when was it formed?
Kleinfontein was, I think the farmland was bought in 93 by Mr. Groenewald de Beer. But I didn't know the other people. I knew Jan Groenewald and Mr. De Beer. But I moved here in 2017, and I built this house. I bought this land from Kleinfontein, and I was issued a certificate. And I built this house, what is valuated now at 3 million. And I've got a certificate of 70 shares, which was 1,000 rand a share, but they have degraded it to 1 rand a share, so that the figures in the statements can match. And when I moved in here, in 2018, I was also a councillor in Nelspruit on Bombela. I'm not a politician. I've been a businessman all my life. I've been in the fuel business, distributing diesel to the mines and construction and farming. And I also did town development in Ermelo, Hendrina, and Pretoria. So I've got quite a lot of knowledge about development. And then they asked me in Bombela if I will stand there for the Vryheidsfront. And I said, no, I'm not a politician. I've stopped lying. Now I have to start learning to lie again when I become a politician. So, but I thought, because they say there's a lot of corruption in Nelspruit, and so when I stood, the support for the Freedom Front rose with 500%. And I got in, and then I was voted to the financial committee and to the roads and stormwater committee. And because I speak Swazi also fluently, I really had an open door to everybody. I even sit next to the EFF leader, and we became big friends. Although we differ on things, but as humans, we were friends. And so I was prepared for a time like this. And then I had a game farm on the other side of Nelspruit, next to the N4, on its way to Malalam. And then I decided to start thinking of retirement. And then I sold all my farms in Ermelo to the government. And then I sold my depots. The last one was sold about 5 years ago with a truck stop in Ermelo. And we were traveling the country for 2.5 years. And I was looking for a place with the right climate, close to a metro, but not in the city, because I've been a farmer. I won't I can't stay in a city. And Kleinfontein was a place for me. It's 8 kilometers from Rayton, where there's a Pick and Pay and a pharmacy and everything. Kleinfontein is 2 degrees cooler than Pretoria and 2 degrees hotter than Witbank. So you've seen today, we are 2-3 kilometers from the highway. So I decided, well, this is a place where you can stay. Although I knew it's a white settlement, because in the beginning of Orania, I was very much involved in Orania. I also served on a committee of Orania to help think how we can start feasible businesses on Orania that is 250 kilometers from Bloemfontein. They've tried a dairy farm, but it didn't work. They are too far from their markets, and it's too hot for a free cow. And then I said, well, I think a call center. I said, because a call center can be in India, it can be anywhere. And then they started it. And the call center in Orania today, I think there's more than 50 people working there. They've put up a double-story building. And so as a businessman, I was also always involved. But I was also very involved in people that was kicked out by society. I've built a rehab center outside of Ermelo for people the drinking and smoking and dacha and all those things. We accommodated 132 people there on the outside of Ermelo. So I've got a heart for poor people and people that are suffering. Even now, I'm very involved in evangelism and helping people that are struggling. And when I got here and I saw there's so many poor people inside here, I thought this is a chance to help people that are suffering, to teach them a trade. They become a plumber or a plasterer or a tiler, and after 2-3 years they can go back in society and go and get a decent job. But very quickly I realized, no. Although they rolled out the red carpet for me, oh, we need you in Kleinfontein. The moment I start asking questions about, is this place legal? What about this? What about that? Then they earmarked me as an enemy of Kleinfontein.
Yes.
So, but as a farmer, grew up in Ermelo, you see there's a difference between a horse, a mule, and a donkey. The old people say, a horse can go backwards. If you put it in the, what do you call it? Yeah, you can, in a seat, ja, shenda. You can shenda.
Yes.
In Bongo, we are shenda.
Yeah.
But the mule can't shenda. We are pambilinja.
Yes.
Now I'm also a mule. I can't go back. I'm going forward. So,
in other words, you're saying you're stubborn, cool.
I wouldn't say that. I've got a very soft heart.
Or you are saying you're principled.
Yes, but you mustn't come with nonsense to me.
Because you're like this.
Yeah. There is no compromise on what is right and what is wrong. And I'm also, my friends, I give them authority to speak into my life when there's something that is wrong. Because if I service my car, and I've got an oil mark on my cheek, and I talk to you as my friend, and you don't tell me there's an oil mark on my cheek, and I go to the town, and people watch me like that, and I thought, why do they look like that to me? And when I look in the mirror in my bakkie, I thought, yes, why didn't Mesh tell me I've got some oil on my cheek?
Yes.
So who's going to tell me if I can't see it?
Yes,
so it's important that you have people that speak into your life. That's very important. Otherwise, you get arrogant and you think you are the only one on earth. Then we moved here, and then I built a house, but we still stayed another year in Nelspruit when I want to finish my term in the council. And then I said to the Freedom Front, okay, the car is running now. I'm not a politician. I've identified 162 million of corruption while I was in the finance committee, and I think I did a lot of things for the construction part of the council, and then they put another guy in, and we moved up here in 2018. And then I wanted to have meetings with them, but they rejected me. They don't want to have meetings with me. And then I started Kleinfontein Owners Association, KIV, Kleinfotein Inwonersvereniging. And then we wanted to have meetings with them. But they declared us persona non grata. We're not allowed in Kleinfontein. Now, nobody, we're not in Russia. Nobody is going to tell me where I can stay, what I must say, how I must say it. When it's the truth, I will bring the truth out. So we started with legal actions, and yeah, it was 5-6 years of hard grinding. It wasn't easy because the people are so intimidated here. The average age of the people in Kleinfontein is 64 years old. And the people have paid their last money to come and buy here. And they don't want to get on the wrong side of management. Otherwise, they won't get a seller for the house, because they is the only one that can sell your house.
Oh.
And because Kleinfontein is illegal, you can't get a loan from FNB or ABSA.
Oh.
So they got their own boerebank here, KSK, where they let the old people invest their money, and then they use that money to finance houses on Kleinfontein. Their own attorney, Adrian Venter, in 2012 wrote them a letter. You can't lend money out on property that's not legal.
Ish.
But despite that, they went on. In 2016, there was a court case. Judge Fourie said, you must stop building. Jan Groenewald, the chairman, signed an agreement. They won't build further. They will legalize now. They build more than 80 houses still. So even our court case in 2023-24 says, stop building. The court case even says it's a criminal enterprise. So we've approached the Hawks, we've approached CISOs, the ombudsman for, places like this. But there was so big political influence here that in the past people couldn't do much. There was political strings pulled here, definitely. When I had the meeting with the town council, what's his name, the MMC?
It's Modise.
Modise.
Yes.
I said to him, we are a product that you, as town council, didn't do your work for 30 years. Now, you want to level our houses, but you didn't do your work. And he was so ashamed, he said, yeah, but you know the politics. I said, no, I've got nothing to do with politics. It's about right and wrong. You can't tax us now with what people didn't do in the past, because they didn't pay tax. They didn't even pay the farm tax, because this settlement is built on a farm. They didn't even pay that little amount. Now, the council has hit the settlement with 7 times the tax. These old people will pay 6,000-7,000 a month, which they don't have. But if they were legal, it was 400-500 rand. And because they don't want to negotiate with the council, I went and I said, but I want to talk to you. Not everybody in Kleinfontein is illegal. Not everyone in Kleinfontein doesn't want to pay. And they were amazed that there are people in Kleinfontein that want to work together with the council. But I don't want to pay these people. I want to pay directly to the council. So we are going to formalize agreement. We are on the end of the year. There's only one meeting still, but we're going to draft it over December. And then next year on the first meeting, there must be agreement from the council. Then people that are registered with Kleinfontein Association will get a valuation and their property will be measured and have an account at the council. And then we're going to pay in there because they steal the money here.
Okay.
Did I cover everything or is there still something left?
You covered everything, and thank you for doing that. So the first question is, who are the people who are refusing? And please, when you answer it with percentages. How many of the people want integration? And I might be using a difficult word when I say integration, meaning that the settlement must be seen and legalized by the City of Tshwane, where you reside in, because you are still in Gauteng, you are not in Mpumalanga, you have not passed Bronkhorstspruit. And the second part of the question is, because you would have given us the number, the feel. Number two,
Can I first answer that question?
Yeah.
You know, I'm old.
Yes,
I start
no,
forgetting.
It's okay.
It's very tough to say how many people support us.
Because it's intimidation?
Intimidation, very much. But the moment I've drafted an agreement with the municipality, and the people have to make a choice, are they going to be on this side of the fence, on that side? If you stay on that side, you are open for demolishing and super tax. But if you're on this side, you're gonna be okay.
So in short, Mkhulu, you are saying you want to help the residents of Kleinfontein to be legalized, their property to be formalized so they can go with the law. They don't risk anything.
Nothing. Mate, luckily, the Lord has blessed me. I can go and buy anytime, anywhere, another place. But I've got a job to do here for people that don't have a voice, don't have the guts, because I can't be intimidated.
Okay.
That's why I fight this fight for old people, poor people, and people that are too afraid. So on percentage way, it's very hard to say. But you will be the first one to know how many people have registered to come on this side of the fence.
Thank you.
The second one.
The corruption that you suspecting or you have witnessed seem to be the reason why you do not want to pay to the people here and you want to pay to the city. What out of this allegation and suspicion have you noticed, and when you ask them?
The Hawks do a very big investigation. So much so that the head of the Hawks must report weekly to Parliament, to the Committee of Justice. they say to me, they don't know where to start. So many corruptions there. But I think they selected 3 or 4 cases. But you must understand that these guys, don't take them on without hand gloves on. So they must be very sure
Yes.
on what they're doing. They're working with SARS. Never ever has a tax been paid here. Not. You know what?
Ukhula usabi.
Sabang, sabang gulungul per. Ang sabi, umuntu ngangandan. Umuntu ngangandan. Yagela man, how?
Inkulu nto
Yeah, we are saying someone, how? You know what? When I drive down here
Yes.
at Alzu,
Yes.
there's a 4-way stop. The law says I must stop.
Yes.
I can't say, no, I'm not ANC, I'm going to pass a 4-way stop.
Yes.
I must abide to the law,
Yes.
no matter who's in charge. For my conscience and for my relationship to the Lord.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing,
Let's talk about the property values. I'm thinking, because unlike you, I don't have the knowledge and background of property development and stuff. You said at some point your value, you had 70 shares and 1 share.
1 rand per share.
Yeah, at some point it was valued at 1,000.
It was 1,000.
And it was degraded to
Yeah, 1 rand.
1 rand.
Yeah.
Do you not think this is the committee trying to assist you so the City of Tshwane does not overvalue you and then overcharge you when the rates come?
Listen, I've been a property developer. I've been a property
Investor.
agent. I've been a valuator. So I know exactly how it works. And how do you get to a price? I had this property valuated last year by a registered valuator. So my property, to replace this value, to go and build this today,
Yes.
it's going to cost me at least 3 million rand. So I will oversee the valuations. That is decent, it's logic, and municipal valuation is normally a lower percentage than the market value.
Okay.
You know, that's always so. If you go into Rayton or Ermelo or Pretoria, it's always lower. So we will negotiate that. And you must remember, because this place is illegal, the value is this. 0. So how good am I going to pay tax on a thing that's not mine yet? So that is things that we still have to sort out in our negotiation with the municipality. But in the meantime, we are prepared to start paying until this settlement is legalized. And I've got a title deed. Then we know. But
You do
there's
not have title deed as we speak.
nothing.
You only have a certificate.
A
from-
certificate. By the shortage of survey,
Yes.
survey, what do you call a survey? You can
Surveyed.
you can use that thing. Yeah.
So this is what has scared me. What has scared me is there goes people walking their dogs, your neighbors. So the average age is 65,
64.
64.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Why?
Are you guys going to be able to sell this property?
When it's legalized, yeah.
Yeah, because if you are 65, 64 as a
Yeah.
average age, it means in 10, 15 years time, most of the residents
Yeah.
will not be here.
Yeah.
And if you are not having sellable value, look, let me tell you, I love it. It's a beautiful place. But if you do not have people, and I think the link that I sent you, I've said that if Afrikaans people, because this is a cultural, let me explain.
Yeah.
This is a cultural place. Not far from us at Centurion here at Broncospruit is that cultural village of the Chinese, you know it?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Not far from here, there's a cultural Ndebele place. So if Amandebele want to live by their own, no problem.
Of course.
If the Chinese want to go and live by their own, there's no problem. For example,
Then when Yarma Trust in KwaZulu-Natal.
Yes.
Why not? Why must it scare me?
We are not here to pursue that. Yeah, they must allow us in. I've said myself, I do not want to go to places. If someone goes and create a conclave of their own that they love, I'm not one of those. Let's campaign to go and sit there. So, who is going? If this protected legal fight that you are in, if it keeps going, who is going to occupy this thing? Because legally, that bank, because it's a scheme, and I know you call it a pyramid scheme, if it's not legal, people might be buying something that is not backed by law. So I'm worried. What is the future of this?
Do you think we're not all worried? Why did you think we spent 2.5 million on legal costs? Because of that.
It worries you as well.
Of course, yeah. And that's why if they can't negotiate a deal, I will do it. And I will do it proper.
Because the culture will die.
Say again?
The culture, the intention of this place will die.
You can't suppress a culture. That's not my worries.
No.
My worries for the financial loss that people can have. Because you can't get a loan from FNB or another bank. But the moment it's legalized, it's on the right side of Pretoria, on the eastern side. The value here will triple.
Yes.
It will triple.
True.
Yeah. So, there's bygone the time to gather money. I was at Afbop the other day. I saw the jacket that they're going to put me in. There's no pockets. So I'm not going to take my lumps up in. It's not, I don't get up.
Yeah.
But all I can take with me is integrity. It's all.
True story.
Nothing else.
True story.
Yeah.
The legal problems can drag, because you've already spent around 2.5 million.
Yeah.
The legal problems can drag longer. And of course,
No.
you are just there.
Hey,
Okay, maybe it's a good thing. So in future, what would you want this place to be? So minus all these problems.
It's very easy.
Yes.
It's very easy. Last Sunday, I went to Rietvlei Dam.
Yes.
You know Rietvlei Dam?
Very beautiful dam.
Yeah.
Fishing?
No. It's only people that got time that can go fishing. I don't have time. I went to visit an old friend.
Yes.
That stayed with her kids. And we drove out on the Babsfontein Road. And it's a settlement like this. Went in, have a cold drink, and I asked her son, so what's your situation here? No, we've got title deeds. I said, okay. And, but so far from Tshwane, it's further than here. I said, how does it work? No, we do our own services. We do our own sewage. We do our own maintenance. We only get water from Tshwane. At Vygerboom Dam in Badplaas is a development, an upper class development. On the side of the Vygerboom Dam, a guy did the development there. He went to Carolina municipality, 73 kilometers away.
Albert Luthuli municipality.
Yebo, kunjalo baba, ngiyavuma. And he said, I want to develop. They said, no, it's too far. They said, okay, let's make a deal. We will buy from Eskom, like this people here at Rietvlei. We do everything. Yeah, but if you pay us per stand a tax, sort it out finishing class. Transport at Loskopdam. Exactly the same. Groblersdal couldn't provide services. They do it their own.
Wow.
Yeah, Rooiberg, on the other side of Tabazimbi. But these people don't want to legalize. But the moment you legalize,
The money-
you can't change. Georgia.
The money slips your hands.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to have to record books and everything. Now I get the picture.
Siyabonga, Baba.
Now I get the
Ngiyabonga.
picture. Because you are saying there are blueprints of successful.
And you want
Places.
You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
I sent a message to Modisa.
Yes.
I want Kleinfontein to be a blueprint to all other 17 illegal places.
In Tshwane.
Yeah. If he gonna speak with him, I want to come with him. And I'm gonna speak Zulu, and I must have somebody that speaks Tswana
Yes.
and Pedi and whatever. And I will tell these people, if I've got a cow that I milk, and the evening I close the cow, put the calf one side. But tonight, my neighbor come and he milk that cow. Tomorrow morning, I don't have milk for my children. So if you don't pay taxes, you're doing exactly the same.
You are milking someone else's cow overnight.
That's right. But if we work together and everyone bring his side, no matter how, nangihamba ngiyawuthoza Tenguni. Bantwana bayelekele. Umntwana nomncane uyedwa ngegotshanyana nje, mari liyedwa. Siyagcwalisa le.
Yep.
Yeah, uyabona?
Yeah.
And that is the whole idea.
Yes.
We must. I was now 6 weeks in Canada.
Yes.
I visited my children. It is the most disciplined, law-abiding people in America and in Canada that I've seen in my life. When the board says 50 kilometers, everybody rides 50. You don't see black marks on the tar road as they crashed or nothing. There's not a paper, not plastic lying around. It's undescribable.
You want to have that form of order here.
Of course, and that's here. And I want to let it, when you take a little stone and you throw it in a pond, it makes circles.
Yes.
And if each of us put a little stone in the water, these circles join up at the end. And that, if that is the last thing that I do here on earth before I leave, I want to leave a legacy about that.
Cool. Ngiyabonga. Thank you very much for hosting us. And please promise the viewers that you will also come to our studio so you can teach us more about life, and especially where you grew up and why you became, because what you're doing is your time is over, but you don't want to leave.
No.
You don't want to leave the world in a very crooked place.
No.
You want to fix things before you go.
Sabuya sibonana.
Ngiyabonga.
Ngiyabuya ngifika, sabuya sixoxe ngoba nginezinto leziningi kabi ngifundzela emhlabeni. I've learned a lot of things, and I like to share it with people because I received it free and I want to give it free, and that's my motto. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Relevant Mashani Political Incorrect. Let's cherish the moment that we've got with Mkhulu, who's able to assist us. More wisdom is going to come when he comes to the studio. Thank you very much, Eitada.